Hello guys, welcome back to SCriptum 101. Today we're going to look at the marksman position. The marksman works quite the same for both teams, for both England and Germany. You have a bolt-action rifle with a scope attached to it. You have a pistol, you have grenades, you have phosphorus, you have a canteen, and you have some medic straps. What is your role? Your role is to snipe, of course, the enemy out of entrenched positions, or, most uncommonly, in a gaming perspective, to report the position of enemy infantry from a long way. Take it like this. You are one of the guys that has the longest reach and the longest view inside the team. Your squad could circle around you, providing information for movement. If you're going to lay cover like you see in this video, but I keep an eye on the windows and opening fire when the enemy just gets on it, you can really easily report, control, and fixate the position of the enemy. Force them to receive suppression. And they're not going to move. They know there's going to be a sniper. The enemy team, is going definitely to run. They're not going to show to the windows, they're going to stay under cover. And generally, you can take out most important assets, like for example, the machine gun position, or another sniper, or perhaps that lousy Panzerschreck or Panzerfaust, or any other kind of anti-tank that is trying to destroy your own vehicles. But as said before, you can always and effectively be used as a recon. You can go ahead, find a higher height, and check positions from there. Sure, you might be alone and you might be flanked, and this is not a good thing generally, because the game does not reward you for being aggressive. It rewards if you constantly stay with somebody and act with him. But the role of a marksman is that you have a bolt action with a scope attached to it, and you can't remove it. So when you go in scope mode, you just have to use the rifle like this. And in short-range fights, being a marksman is a problem, because you can't aim accurately. You're not going to react as fast as you should, and many times you'll find yourself in a disadvantage if you are in close quarters. Nonetheless, the advantage that you have as a marksman is really important, and this depends always on the type of game you are playing or the squad needs to. Marksmen are good for defensive position or for advanced scouting, or if your squad is resorting to recon and hold and protect or harassing the enemy entrenchment positions. It is not suited for assault squads, because obviously a squad, since it can have in its 2, 4, 6, 8, 8-9 members, you can have 4 specialist roles. If you have roles that revolves around assaulting the position, having a marksman could or could not be the best equipment to have. You always have to ask to your squad leader if it's a good idea to remain with the marksman or to switch over to something more useful. Don't be afraid to give up the scope for something else. This is always usable for any other kind of equipment in the game. Just because you have chosen to be a marksman doesn't have to stay like that for all the game. Situation, map figures, map terrain is going to change, and your marksman equipment could not be so effective as you might think in the beginning. Also remember that as usual. English rifle has 10 rounds, while the German Kar 98 has just 5 rounds. So if the English marksman had an advantage already, you have a further advantage as an English, because you have double the size of the clips than the Germans. So you have a possibility to suppress, kill more troops than the German. And this is quite problematic, because the German sharpshooter, that is a marksman, is more specialistic in this sense, because it needs somebody to cover him or to grant him more a role of recon than the English guy. Due to the low level of a magazine, if you have 10 rounds, you can act effectively as suppression-killing machine. If you only have 5, you are going to have a little bit of a problem. You're not sure how to engage, when to engage. When you engage, you have a slow reloading rifle, because the bolt action is not fast enough to squeeze 2 shots in a row, because the enemy could find defense behind a corner or laying down under a window, or generally getting cover. So you are more relying on being a recon that can see from long range, gather information, report it to the squad leader, and then, if the necessity arises, you can open fire and destroy objectives. But only as a last resort. You're not the main reason to be there. Your main reason is not to killing enemy, but to make a recon. Yes, of course, you can do it both, but you're not quite as effective as you might be as a sniper rifle for the English. All this obviously is my humble opinion. You can try out and see for yourself if it suits you better being the sniper for the English or the sharpshooter for the Germans. Anyway, guys, see you later. Bye bye. I see.